Hi, I'm Heather Warlick.
And I'm George Lang.
And this is Weekend Look, a discussion of entertainment news in Oklahoma City and the world. Today we're talking about Tina Fey and Sarah Palin, how the vice presidential candidate did on her Saturday Night Live appearance last week, and what we can expect from the return of Fey's award-winning sitcom 30 Rock next week. So George, you saw Palin's appearance last Saturday night. What did you think? Did she benefit from appearing on the show?
Well, I don't know. I think it was sort of a zero-sum gain for her, because I mean, if you're going to appear on a show like this, you have to kind of transcend the caricature.
Right. She fed into the caricature perfectly.
She did feed into it with the, I mean, when she's, when they do the, the rapping with the Todd Palin in the snowsuit in the back and the whole moose shooting and the raising the roof thing. Yeah, that raising the roof thing. I wasn't completely crazy about that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, not many people should really do that. And I mean, you don't have to have been lived your life in the Bronx and been spinning the wheels of steel on a street corner or anything like that in order to have that kind of credibility. But she didn't have it. It looked kind of funny, and maybe not funny in a good way. I would say that it was not a total loss for her. I don't think she swayed any people. And if there were people who were a little concerned about her in terms of her bearing and things like that, I don't know that it did much for them, really.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that, she, proved that she has a really good sense of humor, that she can take it when people poke fun at her, which is pretty much what the whole evening was about. Right. Right. But like you said, she did not transcend her, the caricature that Tina Fey is portraying. I mean, God, it was like you were watching Tina Fey portraying Sarah Palin when you were actually watching Sarah Palin. Yeah,
and when they crossed each other?
Right. It was like, which one's which? You couldn't even tell the difference.
Yeah, it looked like a camera trick.
It was creepy. It was really creepy. But no, I mean, I thought it was really, I'm glad that she went on there, and obviously 14 million people watched, so she's got some popularity.
Yes, absolutely. She drew a huge audience for them, and they've been, consistently drawing big audiences, but this was the absolute tops. So yeah, it was interesting to see how she would fare in that kind of environment, and I don't think that it was a complete loss for her. I don't think that she just blew everyone's socks off either. I think she leaves that weekend pretty much where she was.
Right. I mean, lots of presidential and vice presidential candidates will show up on SNL. But the thing that's sort of different here is I think that she's perfectly qualified to be on SNL, but maybe not so much to be the vice president. So anyway.
Well, it just depends. Now, okay, let's say if things don't turn out well for her on November 4th, if she and John McCain don't win that night, do you think that she has a future in TV?
In broadcasting, absolutely. I mean, gosh, that's almost what she was born to do. It sort of seems like,
She was a sportscaster a while back,
I mean, she's got experience. She's, she knows how to handle herself in front of a camera. Hence the, the beauty pageant career that she had. She's very knowledgeable about politics. She's a pretty good governor, and so I think for like you said before, like for CNN or something like that, they're probably already out recruiting her right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if you're Roger Ailes, who's the head of Fox News Channel, you've probably already done the numbers on this, and you're talking to your programmers and saying, okay, could we maybe work her into a slot on the channel? And I can't imagine them not making an offer on November 5th if things don't go well for them. But here's the thing, though. She's got if they don't win, then she's got 2 more years of commitment in Alaska.
Right. Could she do this and be the governor of Alaska?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been governor of Alaska, so I don't know.
Oh, really? Thought that was on your resume.
Yeah, exactly. But so I don't know. I think that you'd have to finish out your term and then think about it, and then you also have to worry about how does that affect your future as a politician if you're on TV all the time. Right. I mean, does that help you? Because obviously exposure is good, but it could feed into the idea that, well, you're just a TV person.
Well, it's like the reverse Arnold Schwarzenegger thing.
Right.
So she's just basically, going to have to choose which one she wants to pursue next, and then go there. She's probably, you know, she could probably do either one, or maybe she can do both, you know.
That's right. So, you know, and of course, anything can happen. We're only a week and a half away from the election, but that feels like an eternity.
Yes, it does.
So you never know what's going to happen. Now, next week, this Thursday, 30 Rock returns to NBC, and of course, this is coming after Tina Fey's unprecedented exposure for her Sarah Palin impersonation. Now, Heather, do you think that 30 Rock is going to get a deserved bounce in the polls?
I hope so. I mean, Tina Fey is awesome. She is one of the creators and writers of 30 Rock, as she is of Saturday Night Live, one of the writers. And, you know, she's brilliant. That show is brilliant. It deserves, you know, a lot more credit than it gets. Hopefully, you know, all of this stuff that's been going on with Tina Fey, I mean, she's so awesome. And I think that a lot more people are, like, realizing how awesome she is, and they'll probably tune in.
You know, when people, after Sarah Palin got the nomination, you know, everybody started talking, Tina Fey, she should be the person who does Sarah Palin. Well, I was just thinking, well, it's just women with glasses and people are generalizing and all this. But then she comes on with it, and she's probably done the best impersonation of a political figure that I've seen in my lifetime. She is just so spot on.
Even if she didn't look so much like Sarah Palin, I bet you she could have morphed into Sarah Palin no matter what, because she's amazing.
Exactly. I mean, you know, people. It was sort of like, do not adjust your set. You keep you keep looking, and you're trying. Every time I see one of them, I'm trying to decide. Okay, is that the real or the fake?
Yeah.
Is it live or is it Memorex? So, you know, but now, you know, she's gotten all of this exposure, which I don't think she was banking on for 30 Rock. You know, they've had enough time during the fall season to sort of build up to it with Tina doing these impersonations, and I think it's going to finally do it. Okay, I mean, this is a show. It didn't start out great, in my opinion. It was good, but it wasn't great. And then by the end of its first season, it was like the best sitcom on TV.
Right.
And so I'm thinking that, you know, that thanks to this exposure and people really watching Tina Fey now, they're going to be curious, and I hope so. It needs to have the kind of ratings that The Office does. You know?
I agree. I mean, I think it's a better show than The Office in general. So, you know, maybe Lorne Michaels is out there recruiting Sarah Palin to play Tina Fey for the next season. So who knows?
That's right. Who knows? But it'll be interesting to see, and certainly the next week and a half is going to be interesting as well. So
I know. I'm on the edge of my seats.
We'll be tuning in on Thursday to see how Tina Fey does with 30 Rock, and we'll certainly be checking out the election coverage the next Tuesday. So now that's all we have for this week, and for more about movies, music, and everything else that's entertaining, check out the Weekend Look section of the Oklahoman, the A&E section of newsok.com, the latest issue of Look at OKC, and of course wimgo.com. For Weekend Look, I'm George Lang.
I'm Heather Warlick.
See you next week.
See it.